The Brave Dragon and the Lost Princess. Once upon a time, in a golden palace surrounded by lush gardens, lived a kind king and queen with their beautiful daughter, Princess Elara. She was the light of their lives, with hair that shimmered like the morning sun and a smile that could brighten the darkest day. One afternoon, as Elara was sitting in her room, gazing at the world outside, a terrible thing happened. A monstrous ogre with a twisted, ugly face climbed through the palace window. His eyes widened as he saw the princess, and at that moment, a wicked plan formed in his mind. "I shall take her with me. She will be mine forever," he growled. The ogre snatched the princess and carried her deep into the dark forest, locking her in a towering stone fortress hidden among the trees. "Now, princess," the ogre said with a cruel grin, "you will marry me. You have 3 days to decide. If you refuse, I shall gobble you up." He laughed a thunderous laugh, slammed the door shut, and locked her inside. Poor Elara was heartbroken. She cried bitterly, thinking of her family. Would she ever see her parents again? Meanwhile, back at the palace, the king and queen were devastated when they discovered that their beloved daughter was missing. The king summoned his royal guards and commanded them to find her. "Search every corner of the kingdom," he declared. "Whoever finds my daughter shall receive a grand reward." The guards set off immediately, searching the forest under the pale light of the moon. After hours of wandering, they spotted a tall tower rising from the shadows. As they approached, a terrible roar shook the ground. The ogre appeared, snarling and baring his sharp teeth. "Leave at once, or I'll crush you all," he bellowed. Terrified, the guards fled back into the night. Days passed, and hope began to fade for poor Elara. On the 3rd day, just as the ogre promised to return for her answer, Elara gazed out the window, tears streaming down her cheeks. Suddenly, she saw something remarkable, a majestic dragon with shimmering emerald scales soaring across the sky. "Help me!" Elara called out, waving desperately. The dragon heard her cry and swooped down, circling the tower. The ogre stormed out, roaring in fury. "This princess is mine." A fierce battle began between the dragon and the ogre. The ground trembled as they clashed, their roars echoing through the forest. The dragon unleashed a powerful breath of fire, forcing the ogre back. With one final blow from the dragon's tail, the ogre was sent flying over the mountains, crashing into a river far below and disappearing beneath the water. The dragon flew to the tower window and gently spoke. "Do not fear, princess. I am here to take you home." Elara smiled through her tears as the dragon lifted her onto his back. Together, they soared into the sky, flying over sparkling rivers, green valleys, and misty mountains. When they reached the Golden Palace, the king and queen rushed out to greet them. Overcome with joy, they hugged their daughter tightly. "Brave dragon," the king said with gratitude, "you have saved our daughter and reunited our family. For your courage and kindness, we offer you this bag of gold as a token of our thanks." The dragon humbly accepted the reward and gave a warm smile. "Your happiness is reward enough," he said before taking to the skies once more. From that day on, Princess Elara lived happily in her palace, always remembering the brave dragon who saved her. And so, the king, queen, and their beloved daughter lived happily ever after.